Hi there, I'm John deBary, and today we're going to make the Dark Phoenix, which is the X-Men animated series vodka cocktail of your dreams. I'm really excited today because this is the first of probably at least 3 videos that's going to be all about my next book, which is called Saved by the Bellini. The drinks in the book are all based on things from the 90s that I absolutely love. I pulled up about 65 things from my past and your past and our past and made drinks based on them. Definitely did a couple of magic card cocktails. It's obviously Saved by the Bell Bellini in it. There's Jurassic Park, Salt and Pepper, and there's an X-Men cocktail. And not just any X-Men, X-Men the animated series, which was a hugely influential thing for me. It was Saturday morning at 11:30 maybe. I think there were at least I'm gonna say at least 2 homosexual awakenings for me in that show, Cyclops, Wolverine, come on. So there's a lot to unpack in this video. And I made a drink that was based on the Dark Phoenix storyline, which is originally from the comic books. They did a version of it that was pretty cool in the animated series. There's also a movie that came out rather recently that was anyway. So the Dark Phoenix is a really iconic X-Men storyline. It's about Jean Grey, who's this super powerful psychic mutant. She gets sort of merged with an alien consciousness and becomes really powerful and becomes kind of low-key evil. And then she sort of, in some versions of the story, she dies or she kind of gets reborn. And so there's this whole Dark Phoenix thing where she's basically this flaming goddess of destruction. And so I wanted to make a drink that was based on that kind of image of this fiery thing. So I'm making this really cool layered cocktail that's a fancy grenadine recipe with orange juice and vodka and a little bit of soda water on top. And also it includes this recipe for something that I developed called Ultragrenadine, which is grenadine, but way fancier. So let's start with the Ultragrenadine recipe. So the first thing that we do is infuse plain filtered water with black tea and saffron. And if you have loose tea, you can use 4 grams of tea, but if you have bagged black tea, then you just want to use 2 tea bags, and each tea bag pretty much across the board is 2 grams of tea. I actually measured this the other day and I opened up a tea bag and poured it on a scale and it actually was 2 grams exactly. So 4 grams of black tea, just let sit there. And then we are doing a 1/4 teaspoon of saffron. And if you're actually measuring, if you have a little drug scale, it's 0.2 grams of saffron is a quarter teaspoon. So you'll see it's already started to infuse a little bit, especially the saffron, but you want to let this sit overnight. It is going to take probably at least 12 hours to do its thing. And through the magic of advanced planning, I did some last night. And so this is what it looks like at the end. So this is all the color. If you can see, all the color of the saffron threads has leached out into the water. And that's how you know it's done. Also be careful, you'll dye everything yellow if you're not careful with this liquid. And if you're wondering why we're using a cold infusion as opposed to a hot one, it's because if you use a hot tea, it kind of goes off after a couple hours, it gets kind of stale, whereas the cold brew, I can't explain it scientifically, don't ask me, but it just lasts a lot longer, especially if you keep it in the refrigerator. So that's why I do a cold infusion instead of a hot one. And that's why we have to be patient. And then we're doing saffron strained into a saucepan. And then to that, we add 2 cups of sugar. And then a cup of 100% pomegranate juice. You wanna make sure it's literally just pomegranate juice, there's no sugar or other juices added to it. It'll interfere with the flavor and the balance if it's not. And then same goes for the cranberry juice. You're not using a cranberry juice cocktail. This is 100% cranberry juice and it's tart as f***. And so no sugar, it gives you that cranberry. That's all you need because you have plenty of sugar and dilution and other things happening from the rest of the ingredients here. So this is gonna be over a medium heat and you wanna keep stirring it kind of frequently because you don't want it to scorch any of the sugar or burn any of the juice components. You just wanna use the heat to basically dissolve the sugar into the liquid. You just wanna kind of get it maybe steaming a little bit, but not boiling. So now that our Ultragrenadine is done cooking, it's cooled off. You want it to be room temperature or colder before you use it in any of your drinks. We are ready to make the Dark Phoenix. You want to get a tall glass like this and add, basically as much ice as you physically can support, and then transfer your grenadine into something you can pour from that's probably not your saucepan, because it won't work for you. It won't be good. First, we're gonna drop 2 ounces at the bottom of the glass. And then you got 1 ounce of orange juice. And I like to keep this kind of light, so I just did 1 ounce of vodka, but you could go up a little bit if you wanted to. I like to keep it sort of on the more refreshing side. And then lastly, we've got our soda water. And we're giving ourselves like a nice full wheel over the top, like that. That's the Dark Phoenix. You can buy my book April 25th, but in the meantime, you could like, subscribe, comment on it, ask me a question, say something nice, critique my lipstick in a nice way. People told me about lip liner and I'm starting to use it, and I'm not wearing it right now, but thank you to whoever you were. All right, cheers.